My friends, I want to help you crush your biggest goals, achieve your wildest dreams, and manifest anything into your life. It is my life's mission and really passion helping you win. I think it's the coolest thing ever. So right now in this video, I'm gonna unpack my 4-step process to manifest big things, to crush huge goals, for change, for movement, for progress, for more money.
Remember my name and all I became, the fortune and fame, from shackles and chains, my spirit won't break, never let them take.
Whatever you're working on right now, I want you to think about this before we get into this. What is the thing you want most in this life, right? Is that the growth for your business, the revenue, the money in the bank? I can appreciate that, right? Is that the body of your dreams? Maybe that's what you're focusing on, is manifesting and building your dream body, or weight loss. Is that a dream relationship you're trying to manifest or maybe take to the next level? Can appreciate all of that and what that means to you. Is that a trip that you're trying to take and go manifest this beautiful dream trip and go to Italy or go to the Bahamas or go to Thailand, whatever that is. Maybe it's a home for you and your family. Maybe it's a rental property. Maybe it's a new vehicle. I don't care what the thing is. I want you to just think real quick, maybe pause me and jot this down or drop it in the comments. My biggest goal right now is this. And why I want you to hone in on one goal where focus goes, energy flows, right? And so you can come back and do this again. Maybe that's health, relationship, your business, your mind. That's fine. Come back through it again. So where does it all start? Like manifesting these huge record-breaking months and money in the bank and dream relationships. You hear it all the time, right? Like I'm on this TikToking side of manifesting. I manifested this. Where does it all start? I actually believe it starts with knowing what you don't want. My favorite thought leader on this subject is David Bayer. He has an incredible podcast called The Change Mind. And he says the day the manifestation is born is the day you have contrast. And what does that mean? Like the day you realize you want to be wealthy or be rich or have more money is the day you look at your bank account or can't pay your rent. I know what that feels like, right? It's the day your car is repoed. It's the day you can't cut the check when somebody needs help. So what he believes, and I actually believe in this so much, it's the day your manifestation is born as you realize what you don't want. So what does that mean? In this 4-step process, I want you to literally write down what you don't want. Like where are you at and what you don't want? And so the way I kind of look at it is this. Here's where you're at and you got this sad face. Like, I don't want this anymore. And I actually agree with this so much. The day I decided to get fit was the day I looked in the mirror. I was like, nope, I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to look this way. And I actually believe that is when you manifest at the highest level, is when you realize what you don't want. So what is step one? Understanding where you're at now. Like what don't you want anymore? What are you willing to finally say like never again? Like on a relationship goal, right? Like raising your standards going, nope, I will never be treated like that again. From a business standpoint, nope, today's the day I decide I'm going to grow the business and I'm going to do more marketing. I hate where I'm at right now. And that's okay. The one thing that like, whenever I bring this up, people are like, wait, we got to talk all about positive. No, we don't. We have to understand where we're at and what we will no longer accept anymore. So the thing that I want you to understand is today on step one, right? What I don't want is almost like drawing a line in the sand, and you're kind of declaring to the universe, to God, to yourself, no. This is not where we're at anymore. And so step one for you is actually writing down, no, like this is what I don't want anymore. I'm sick of feeling this way, and get it out. Tony Robbins has this beautiful saying where you can't go to the garden, like a beautiful flower garden, and hope for no weeds. You can't just, no weeds, chant for no weeds. What he says is you actually have to pluck the flowers. And I find the first step of change in anything is actually acknowledging what you don't want. Like when I was at my lowest point financially, I would hide from my bank account and the bills. No, go own it. Where are we? Just get a really good feel. Where are we? What don't you want anymore? And that's step one. You're like, thanks, Nick, for this positive talk. Well, here's step two, my friend. Step two is you with a giant smile on your face, your arms up in the air, and you're stoked. So here's step two, my friends. What do you want? And get super crystal clear on what does that dream body look like? Feel like? How do you look when you're in the mirror? How do your clothes fit? What does the dream relationship look like? How does he or she treat you? What are their characteristics? What does your dream income look like? What does your bank account look like? Like this to me, so this is step one, my friends, okay? Here's step two. This is where you actually get the dream. And yes, contrast starts the manifesting. Maybe you've heard Neville Goddard saying living in the end or the law of assumption. What happens is when you start listing out, oh yeah, this is what our dream business looks like. This is what my dream client looks like. What you're actually doing is you're starting to get crystal clear on this actual manifesting. So you're taking it from, I don't want this anymore to, oh my gosh, like that's the goal, that's the dream. And what happens is the more clear you get on the dream, the more you verbalize this. The more you write this down, the more you talk about this, guess what? You're actually starting to tell the universe, God, the world, what your dream actually is. So step two, get a scratch piece of paper. My dream is this. right? Get really clear on this. Start thinking, meditate. Wow, what does my dream look like? What does that dream car look like? What does that dream house look like? What does that dream bank account look like? And start feeling it, right? Like, how do I feel in this moment? I promise you, my friends, thoughts become things. It's the wildest thing ever when you get crystal clear on what that looks like. It's kind of a fun little manifesting thing. I just got my dream truck, and I had spent this time manifesting this black on black truck. I wear black on black. I like Johnny Cash, Man in Black, right? And I had spent a few weeks, this is what the truck. And then like all these other trucks would come, and I kept saying no. I would go, and it wasn't it, because it wasn't this black on black one that I was waiting for. Black on black, black on black. And like I was living in the end of this thing, and then sure enough, one night I get a text from the dealership. He goes, hey dude, your truck's here. And he goes, this is literally you. And I show up, and sure enough, everything that I had said, every feature that I wanted on this truck, and yes, it took me like a month to wait for it, but it showed up. And I joke about that because to me, things don't matter, right? It's not about cars or trucks. Maybe it is to you. But for me, this actually proved the point. It proved step number 2, that the more clear you get on this, the more instructions. The way that I've learned this through studying manifesting, it's like writing an order to the universe. I just heard this manifesting coach say this. She says, go to www.universe.com and then just submit your order. Here's what I want. Like, think about this though, right? Why is it? When you start getting crystal clear on what your dream income looks like, your reticular activator starts looking for it. You have to have a destination in mind. Here's where we're starting, but we don't want anymore. Here's our dream destination on where we're headed. And when you get there, you have to get clear on what that looks like for when you show up, you actually know that you're there. I think this is really special. What does that dream relationship look like? Well, then when you meet him or her, you're like, oh my gosh, I have been looking for you this whole time, right? Well, no, you actually told your brain and the universe what you were looking for, and then it showed up and you were able to acknowledge that and recognize that because your brain was looking for that thing. It's called your reticular activator. So my friends, that's step 2. Now, step 3, it's gonna get a little deep. And I just do need your permission to invite you in on this one right now. This is gonna get a little heavy for some that are following this exercise. What is step 3? What I need you to understand, here's the path of where you want to be, right? Here's where you're at, here's where you want to be. And this is a real conversation and really the whole heart and soul of this entire video and what I want you to learn from this. Number 3 is going to be this, okay? I'm going to change markers for you so I actually think you can even get this even more. This is number 3. Number 3 is going to be this. Number 3 is going to be, what is going to stop me from getting that thing? Now let me have a conversation with you. What is the thing holding you back? Just for example, right, in business. I want 100K months, okay? I'm at 10K a month now. I don't like this anymore. What's holding me back? And I need you to be honest with yourself. You don't have to tell me this. You don't have to comment this. What I would do is sit with this and go, okay, here's where I want to be. What is actually holding me back? Is that the fear of getting on camera? Is that the fear of starting a podcast? Is that the fear of putting yourself out there? Is that the fear of asking her out? Is that the fear of leaving what you're comfortable with? Is that the fear of taking the trip? Is that the fear of starting the business? Is that the fear of showing up to the gym for the first time? These are real conversations. What I found in life, the art of achievement, right, is getting hyper clear on what's going to hold you back. Not me back, you back. See, we're all different on what makes us tick, what we're afraid of, what we're excited about, what stopped us. A lot of that's our past, our upbringings, all the things that go into that, right? What's gonna stop you? I'll give you a quick example. I'm in the middle of this book writing workshop. I've written a couple books for myself. Oh, side note too, I'll give you a free copy of my book if you'd like. It's the first 11 chapters. We rush these out for friends and family. I'll put a link here in the description if you're on YouTube. And if you're on the socials, just check my link in bio. You can get a free copy of my book, or just make it easy, go to triumphantbook.com and get a free copy of my book. So we're in the middle of this book writing workshop, and today was actually the writing day. So what's been interesting is everybody's been excited to write their book and become a best-selling author and share their story with the world, right? And it's easy to design your book cover. It's fun, it's safe, right? It's easy to list out the table of contents. Today was the writing day. And it was really interesting. As we were going through this exercise, I found them actually putting their story on paper was gonna stop. So for some of us, it's maybe getting to the gym for the first time might stop us, meal prepping for the first time, right? Putting yourself out there, putting yourself on camera. Now, these are only conversations you can have internally, but what I found is this. If you can figure out what's actually going to block you, to stop you, and then be able to sit with that, then be able to come up with a solution around that, that's when everything changes. And this is what I want you to understand. You can only get change by actually breaking through that wall right there. You can only get change and get to what you're dreaming of, where you want to be, your end destination, by breaking through this wall right here. And is it gonna be hard? It is. See, my friend, to do something you've never done, you actually have to do something you've never done, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Back to these authors today, they've never written a book. Well, to write a book, guess what? You actually have to write a book. The only way for you to write a book is to write a book. And we got here today and it was interesting. I said, how are you guys feeling? A lot of people were like, I'm nervous, I'm scared. That's normal. And what I need you to do is learn to embrace this. So what I'm trying to prep you up for here is this. When you make dramatic changes, there's going to be a point where you're going to get nervous and you're going to feel like you're going to stop, I need you to acknowledge this moment and be able to break through. And I think when you personally get clear on, you're right, Nick, I want to get in better shape. Got it. What's going to stop me? You know what? I'm not getting up in the mornings to go to the gym. Okay, so what's the solution? Then maybe we need to move your workouts to the end of the day. Maybe we need to do your workouts at night. Maybe we need to get up a little bit earlier. You know your world, right? What I just highly encourage you to do is sit with this. I help a lot of business owners grow and scale their businesses. And I find this is the moment where, hey, it's time to run the ads. Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, it's time to spend the money. Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, we get here and we go, oh, wait, that's not comfortable to me. So what do? It's almost like a thermostat, right? Where the coolers go back on. You go, no. We go back to where we're safe, right? I'll share with you a funny story on this. So for me, for years, as a kid, I wanted to live by the beach and surf. I watched the movie Point Break when I was a kid. I was really inspired by Bodhisattva. It's just my thing. And I always wanted to surf, right? Because of Patrick Swayze as Bodhi in Point Break. He was like my spirit animal. He's all about surfing, right? And so here's me living on a prairie on 10 acres, true story, not surfing, okay? Here's me at the beach, living this life, raising kids at the beach, surfing on the weekends, beach babies, all the stuff, right? Well, what's gonna stop me? Well, I lived in Phoenix, Arizona, not the beach, okay? So that's scary, right? That's scary to leave what you're comfortable with, right? Then I finally got to San Diego and I was afraid to get in the water for the first time. Why? These are big, man. Water's cold. There's sharks out there. I'm scared. And so what was interesting, I remember this, I would stand on the beach and I'd be like, oh yeah, dude, I want that. No. And I would like retreat and go back home, right? It's easy to watch TikToks. It's easy to watch YouTubes. It's easy to go to surf shops. You know what's hard? Put it on a wetsuit, get it on a board and paddling out. And I remember one Saturday, I finally was like, nope, never again. I'm doing this, right? Got my little board and I got in the water and I was so scared and I got out there and I surfed for the first time. I didn't die. It was scary. It was cold, a lot colder than I thought, but I broke through that barrier. And now today, surfing's what I do. It's one of the coolest things in my life. It brings me more joy than anything. It's so beautiful. I feel grounded to God and connected to God. And that was that moment where I remember sitting with it going, well, what's gonna stop me? I don't have a surfboard, went and bought one. I don't have a wetsuit. So I started, and this is the takeaway for you, eliminating excuses. Nick, I wanna run a marathon. This is my dream. Great, what's gonna hold you back? Well, I don't have running shoes. Then buy the running shoes. I don't know how to train. Get a training schedule. I don't know what to eat, get what to eat. So what we have to do is start plunking these weeds and eliminating all of these excuses. And when you do, when you get to this moment of like, I have to break through, I want you to, when you get there, go, nope, Nikki T told me about this. I know this moment, right? And how does it happen? Like as a content creator, there's a moment where like, you're afraid to launch the thing, launch the workshop, show up on stage, launch the podcast. There's truth to that, right? There's truth to, well, what are they gonna say about me? Am I gonna say the right thing? What if they comment negatively? Running the ad campaign, I might lose the money. I like have so much deep appreciation for this because I've lived it, but here's what I know for a fact. The highest and best version of you has to actually take this journey. And I think that is the most special thing for you ever, to manifest this dream life, this dream business, this dream relationship. There's gonna be a moment where you decide what you don't want, you decide what you want, and you actually break through. Which then leads me to number 4 and some homework for you right now. Yeah, you have homework. Why? I wanna see you win. We started with that. Like, I want you to be here, no matter what this is, life, relationships, goal, all that, right? And so here's the moment, okay? So here's gonna be number 4. Number 4 is going to be the next 24 hours, okay? Over the next 24 hours, I want you to follow through on step number 4, and that is going to be identifying what is one thing that you could do today to move you one step closer here. So think about it this. Here's where you're at, your contrast. Here's where you want to be. All I simply have to do to start becoming this person, this business owner, this content creator, this relationship, this body, whatever. All I have to do is do the first step. And what is the first step for you? I want you to think about it. Give you an example. Nick, I want 100,000 followers and 50 grand a month coming off of social media. Great. What's the first step? Maybe that's recording your first TikTok. Nick, I want a huge podcast. I want to be the most popular podcast. Great. What's the first step? Maybe today that's buying the first microphone, or maybe setting up your studio. Nick, I want that dream relationship. Maybe that's going and grabbing your girl flowers right now, my guy, right? Maybe that's scheduling a date night. Hey, Nick, I want that dream body. Well, maybe that's running down to Sprouts and meal prepping. I started meal prepping at Sprouts. They have these like plug and plays, right? Maybe that's signing up for a meal prep service. Maybe that's starting to buy better food. Maybe that's starting to research a better gym, or starting to hit that workout, right? Maybe it's actually going and doing the workout you've been wanting to do. Maybe it's signing up for a CrossFit gym. Maybe it's, I just started boxing. I wanted to start boxing, right? Here's dream. I want to be a boxer. Well, I got a coach, and then I got in the gym with him, and that was step 1. And then what happens? You move to step 2 and you start working on it, right? So step 4 for me, in this way to break through, is identifying over the next 24 hours, what is one thing that you can do that future you would want you to do today? And this is where it gets really special. See, I believe for a fact that there is a future version of you that already has this income, business, content, relationship, life, freedom, all the above, because that's why you have the goal today. I believe it's future you planting that seed that's telling you, hey man, this is where we're headed. I also can make a case that that's God like kind of leading you down the path, right? Hey man, all I'm asking you to do today as highest and best version of you, as me in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, all I'm asking you to do is one thing today to build us. I say this every day. I sign off my social media posts like this. I'll go work out and I'll say dues paid and one step closer to the man God had created me to be. So here's the ultimate version of me. This isn't about me, get the analogy though. Here's me. All I had to do was today, record a video. Today, do the workout. Today, boom. And then what happens? You start doing this and doing this and do this. And what I found actually too, is that when the moment comes of like, ooh, this is gonna get hard, you have a lot more momentum, right? And you're able to actually start becoming this person because you know when you're gonna get held back. So my friends, I'd love to hear from you. What is one thing that you could do in the next 24 hours to actually start stepping into this highest and best version of you? See, all the things you want to manifest are actually going to be on the other side of you starting to become that person today, right? So the art of losing 50 pounds just starts with actually going and getting on the treadmill today or meal prepping, right? The art of making 100 grand a month probably starts with getting your first lead today or setting up a sales funnel or running a marketing ad campaign. The art of your dream relationship actually might be becoming a little more quiet time with your spouse, putting your phone off. And maybe for you, that's less Love Island or whatever, Love is Blind at night, and maybe more one-on-one conversation. I don't know your goals, right? What you need to decide over the next 24 hours is what's that going to be. And I'd love for you to comment below, hey Nick, this is what I'm gonna do over the next 24 hours to, in essence, start stepping into highest version of you. So I'll wrap all this up with a really cool story that'll help you understand this lesson. So a really good friend of mine, her dream was to live in France. She's had this dream since she was in elementary school. Her and her best friend had this dream to live in France as two young women and live their lives and start their families there, okay? And so where was she at? She was living in Tucson, Arizona, okay? Tucson, great place if you love that. For her, it wasn't. Where was her end destination? Her end destination was France. She loved it. She wanted all about France, and she went on telling me all about this dream that her and her girlfriend had. Well, her girlfriend already lived there. So where she's at, she's in Tucson, not there. Okay, so what has to happen? Okay, where's her breakthrough point going to be in number 3? Well, what's scary? Dude, leaving your current environment, leaving your friends, leaving your family, leaving your current job, leaving your current home, leaving everything you've ever known. I have so much appreciation for this. That is a real conversation. So what would stop her? Getting the flight, figuring out how to get a job online, insert all the tough things. But when you're aware of it, what are you able to do? You're able to work around it. So what happened? She was actually with me. She was here in San Diego and we were spending some time together. And I said, well, what would life look like if you actually just went for a few weeks? And she was like, well, that's actually a really good point. So she booked a flight, and she booked a flight to France, and she went a couple of months ago. And so check this out. This is really cool. This is so special. She figured out what was stopping her. The fear of getting on the plane, the fear of change, all of it. And they're all normal things. But again, you can't get here without here, right? You can't become this person without getting that breakthrough moment. So she booked the flight and went to France. Awesome. And I had been following her stories on Instagram. I was like, dude, this looks awesome. So a few days ago, she calls and she FaceTimes me. Where does she FaceTime me from? France. She's in France. She's in her Airbnb. Now keep in mind, I've been following her stories. I was like, dude, this looks like a really cool time. And she called to tell me what? She said, Nick, I just signed up for this master's program here in France. I'm actually moving to France now. And I went, oh! Now check this out. This is the biggest lesson I could ever teach you. And I'm so proud of her. And I'm proud of her for going first, because we can all use this story to learn from. Her breakthrough moment was getting on the plane and going, but she did. And what happened? Boom. She's there now. She put herself in that environment. Everything you want now is on the other side of this breakthrough moment. That was her flight. For you, it could be getting into the gym for the first time. It could be leaving that toxic relationship. It could be starting the business, creating the content, insert the thing. Then what was her 24-hour goal? Book the flight. All she had to do for 24 hours was just get on, whatever airline it was, and book the flight. And because on step 4, she booked the flight, what happened? Future her was able to start packing her bags, get to the airport, get to the Airbnb, and then a series of events and synchronicities happened where then she realized, oh wait, I'm now in France, and she's with her best friend. And it was a really emotional FaceTime, because she was like, Nick, we had been talking about this since we were little girls. It's happening now. And I think that is the most special thing ever. She realized where she didn't want to be. She realized where she wanted to be. She figured out what was stopping her, and then she took action in 24 hours. And my friends, I would love for you to go sit and do this exercise for yourself, because when you sit with this, you'll find out how beautiful this is. You're like, oh wait, here's where I'm at. Don't want to be here anymore. Here's where I want to be. Sounds awesome. I love this. What's going to stop me? Cool, got it. And then what could I do in the next 24 hours to become that person? And then tomorrow, just another thing, the next 24 hours, the next 24 hours, the next 24 hours. And eventually, that's the life you have built. That's the goal you have achieved. That's the dream you are now living. That's the thing you have manifested. And so my friends, I wanted to just share this with you today. It's been on my heart. This is actually how I manifest things and achieve goals and anything in my life, I just keep rolling through this. And why I started with go through one thing at a time. Do you see how you have to get crystal clear on the one thing? So if you want to do this with your health and your body, then your income and your finances and your business or your marketing or your relationships, your faith, whatever, and just cycle through this. And so I've used this for years in my own life. And now I get to teach you some of the things that have just added a ton of value in my life. If this added value to you, I would love for you to subscribe or follow the show. So you're either watching me on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on social media. So follow me, subscribe. And if you did like this, the greatest compliment I could ever get, my friends, is you sharing this with a friend. So grab this, share this with a friend that you think has something to learn from this, but really somebody that's chasing huge dreams and goals. I would love to help them as well. And then, like I said, if you want a free copy, this is the first 11 chapters of my book, You Are Triumphant. It's the friends and family copies. We're working on the other 8. I'll put a link in the description or in my bio so you can download a free copy of my book, or just go to triumphantbook.com. There's nothing sold in it. It's truly my heart and soul, my life's work. Everything I've learned right here inside of this book. It'd be my honor to give this to you. So had a blast putting this together. I hope you learned a ton. And what I want you to do not leave this video without figuring out what are you going to do to take action in the next 24 hours. Go do it. Come report back once you do. And I hope you go crush every goal that you have. Manifest the most beautiful things in your life. I love you. I believe in you. And we'll see you on the next one.